So hey YouTube, welcome back to another of my videos. Today, what we're going to be doing is we are going to be talking about compulsory heterosexuality. So first of all, what is compulsory heterosexuality? It can be defined as the idea that heterosexuality is assumed and enforced by a patriarchal and heteronormative society. In this theory, heterosexuality is seen as able to be adopted by people regardless of their personal sexual orientation. Heterosexuality is viewed as the natural state of both sexes, and a deviation is seen as unfavourable. The term was popularised by Adrienne Rich in her 1980s essay titled Compulsory Heterosexuality and the Lesbian Existence. So that's just a little bit of background of what it is and where it comes from. So for the rest of this video, I'm just going to refer to compulsory heterosexuality as comp het because it's just shorter and it's just easier for me to say. We're taught from a very, very young age that heterosexuality is the normal and anything that is not that is different, which can also be seen as some people as being bad. So that's why you have this kind of stigma around gay people, and it's also the reason why, we come out. It's also the reason why good queer representation on TV is important, because we need to break this idea of comp het. So I really wanted to talk about my experience with this on YouTube, but I just wasn't sure where to start with it or what to do, and I was largely inspired by Elena Joy. I will have her channel linked down below. She recently very publicly struggled with this, and she done a video very recently where she talked about it. So in Elena's most recent video, she done this, she went through this thing, it's called a master doc, and it basically just describes to you what comp het is and then the symptoms of it. So we're just going to go through the symptoms of it and kind of talk about that and my experiences with it. This master doc is geared towards comp het and queer women, specifically lesbians. So this will not apply to gay men or bi people, but it is important to note that comp het can also affect those groups of people. But let's just get right into this. So the first category on the symptoms list is attraction to men. Deciding which guys to be attracted to. Not date, but to be attractive to. I did this. I picked Luke Hemmings from 5 Seconds of Summer, and I just rolled with it throughout the entire school year. I just was like, yeah, I have a crush on Luke Hemmings. Even after I came out, I still said that I had a crush on Luke Hemmings, even though they knew I was a lesbian. I also had a guy on the bus, he used to get the bus with me, and he is actually gay, but I said that I had a crush on him because I knew he wouldn't try anything because he was gay, but it literally just kept other people from hitting on me when I said that I liked him, so I did that as well. Constantly testing my attraction to men. I pick one or more conventionally attractive men in the room and then try and force myself to be attracted to them. I didn't really do this with real life men. I'd done this more with fictional or celebrities and stuff, where I'd be like, right, that celebrity's really, really attractive. And then I would just pretend that I was attracted to them even though I wasn't. I like the idea of being with a man, but anytime a man makes a move on me, I get incredibly uncomfortable. And no, I just was uncomfortable around men all the time. I don't really like the reality of men, only the idea of being with a man. No, anything with a man really, really scared me. Growing up, I always said I didn't want to get married and I didn't want to have children. And the reason why I said those things is because both of those things in my head needed to be with a man, and I just didn't picture myself going down that route. But the minute I found out that you could get married to a woman, I was just like, this my jam. I can fantasize about men and find men attractive, but realistically, being with a man, it makes my stomach churn. No, I can't do any of those things. Even thinking about being with a man right now, that part makes my stomach churn. I can't even fantasize about it. I just see myself with women. Only developing attraction to a guy after a female friend expresses attraction to him. I kind of done this with celebrities again. Like if my friends were like, oh, I really like that guy from 5 Seconds of Summer, I would then look at the guys in 5 Seconds of Summer and kind of copy the way that they spoke about them. That's totally something I done, but not with real life men. Never with real life men. Like they would have crushes on guys and stuff and talk to me about it, and I would never really talk to them about any of that stuff unless it was celebrities, because I knew that celebrities were unattainable. Like, I knew that I didn't have to do anything. You view relationships with men as a chore, a burden, or just something you must have to deal with. Never had a relationship with a man. You get crushes on just about any guy you're friendly with because there isn't really a difference between crushes and friendships to you. I would say I did do this one because there was this guy that I used to get the bus with, and I remember I was sitting at the bus depot and me and him were like sitting on like the chairs like at a little bus stand before we got on the bus, and I was there a bit early and he was there a bit early and we were talking, and then a girl that I knew from school came over, and then the next morning at school she came over and she went, "You and him were really, really cute. Why don't you guys get together?" And she's like, "Oh no, you guys should really get together." And then the next time I seen him, I started flirting with him a little bit more, but I didn't actually find him attractive, so I guess I kind of done that. Choosing to be attracted to any guy at all, not just choosing to act on it, but flipping your attraction on like a switch. That's a common lesbian thing. I guess that's what I did. Just kind of went, oh yeah, maybe we would be cute together. Let's just pretend that I like them. Which is not good. You're far more certain about being attracted to women than you are about being attracted to men. Yeah, I like women. We've established this. We've established that women only / mostly been attracted to unattainable, disinterested, or fictional guys that you never really interact with. Yes. They're still in my bedroom. There's still posters of like male artists and stuff, but when I put them up originally, they were put up for a different reason. I said that I was attracted to some of the band members when I wasn't, because I knew that I would never have to deal with it. You wish you weren't attracted to men / you wish you were a lesbian. No. When I started thinking I was a lesbian, I freaked out because I didn't want to be. But now it's great. Why would I not want this? So the next section is relationships with men. Just a quick note, I'm actually not reading out all of these. Again, you can check the full document in the description below. It will be linked. I'm just going through some of them that might apply to me and things that I want to bring up or talk about. And the first one is dreading what feels like an inevitable domestic future with a man. Yes, I did not want to get married. I did not want to have kids. I didn't want to do anything like that. I didn't want any of it. Being repulsed by the dynamics of most / all real life male-female relationships you've seen or regularly feeling maybe it works for them, but I don't want my relationship to be like that. Yes, I did do this one. Growing up, when I would see straight couples, I would always feel, I don't know, this kind of anger towards, or this resentment towards the man, especially if he was with a woman that I thought was attractive but was denying that I thought was attractive. So yeah, I guess that one does apply to me, and I guess I did kind of feel that growing up. Most of this doesn't actually apply to me because I haven't actually been in a relationship with a man. I've only ever been in relationships with other women. Oh, the last one on this list actually did apply to me because I actually felt like this. Worrying that you're broken inside and you're unable to really love anyone. Because I didn't have my first relationship until I left secondary school, I felt like this because I never was in a relationship. I never had any real life crushes or anything like that growing up. And that for someone can really make them feel like, oh my god, I can't love anyone. If I had just realized and accepted sooner that I liked women and exclusively women, I wouldn't have felt like that. I did come out as bi because I didn't want people questioning too much why I wasn't with anyone, and they would just put it down to, oh, she's more into women at the minute. I did feel like that growing up, and then I would like make up crushes to kind of make up for that, and compulsory heterosexuality really did affect me negatively and really did delay my coming out process because I only came out as a lesbian when I was 17 and I only really accepted it when I was 18. Yeah, it really did affect me in a negative way. I probably would have came out as a lesbian sooner if I hadn't been affected by some of the things on this list. Early interest in women. See how many we check off on this bad boy. Not recognizing past or current crushes on women until you've come to grips with your attraction to women. Yeah, I thought I just wanted to be friends with my best friend. We don't speak anymore, but I hope she knows that I had the biggest crush on her ever. I definitely had some crushes in primary school as well. Oh, I had a crush on some teachers that I had in my school as well. Yeah, I had a crush, yeah. And I didn't realize all of this until after I came out, and I was like, oh wow, I didn't just want to be their friend. Cute girl in red, am I right? Being unusually competitive, shy, or eager to impress a specific woman when you're not that way with anyone else. Yeah, I did this a lot with my best friend. I used to buy her gifts and stuff. And I remember there was this one time where she mentioned that she wanted a blueberry muffin, and the next morning I had one sitting on her desk. Want to kiss your female best friend in the mouth for literally any reason, for example, to practice for boys. No, I never did this. I didn't actually kiss a girl until after I came out as a lesbian, so I didn't do any of that. Looking at a close female friend and feeling something in your chest clench you up and being overwhelmed with your love for her. Love you may be read as platonic. Yes, I did this. I used to always put at the end of my text messages to my friend, love you, all the time. I didn't do it with anyone else, but it was platonic. Like, I was just saying that I loved her because she was my best friend. Having had strong and abiding feelings of admiration for a specific female teacher, actor, etc. growing up that were deep and reverent. I used to have, in my old house, I had this massive Miley Cyrus poster. No idea where that poster is now. I think maybe we were taking it down, it ripped. I'm maybe a bit afraid to admit this, that me at 12 years of age thought it was acceptable for me to go up and kiss my Miley Cyrus poster every morning. So that was something I did. Having had an unusually close relationship with a female friend growing up that was different and special in a way that you couldn't articulate. This didn't happen in primary school. I wasn't really close to anyone in primary school, but secondary school, yes, my best friend. I know now what it was. I know I treated that friendship like a relationship, and that could be a huge reason why I didn't actually date or see anyone or have any of those experiences in secondary school. Looking back on it now, it's so glaringly obvious, but at the time I just couldn't, as it says, I couldn't articulate it, I couldn't figure it out in my own head. Being utterly fascinated by any lesbians you know / see in the media and thinking they're all cultural cool people. Yes, I watched Rose and Rosie before I came out. So if that doesn't scream gay, I don't know what does. Having your favourite character in every show be the one gay coded butch looking woman. This is calling me out. Chico from Kim Possible. She was the reason I watched Kim Possible. Apart from Kim, I did have a slight crush on Kim as well. I loved Chico. I love the episodes where it was Chico and Kim. That's just making me gayer. Feeling weirdly guilty and uncomfortable in locker rooms. I went to an all-girls school as well. I felt uncomfortable in the bathrooms, but especially locker rooms, yeah. There was like a staff toilet that if I could get into, I would change in there as opposed to changing in the locker rooms along with everyone else. Just because I didn't want to be seen as creepy. Oh, the straight version of me. The straight version of me still comes out every so often when the gay me goes into the closet when I'm like seeing family at Christmas. So this is what I just bring out of the closet. The thinking that all straight girls feel at least some attraction to women. Again, called out. I did think this. Because there was always that phrase in the media, that whole, oh my god, I have such a girl crush on her. Yeah, that messed me up because I had to just think I had a ton of gay crushes. And then I realised that was all I liked. Being really into her woman look aesthetically. This is just calling me out because there used to be this book in my school and it was like an art book. It was for artsy things. There was this like really cool image of this woman and she was like wearing this like white floaty thing. I love looking at that. Why am I so gay? Being a really intense LGBTQ plus ally. I've never actually done the whole ally thing. I actually went, weirdly, I will talk about this in another video, but I was actually really internally homophobic before I came out. So I didn't actually like the fact that I was gay, so I was determined to hide it. So I was never an ally of the LGBT community until I accepted myself as being part of it. Having half your friend group from school turn out to be LGBTQ+. I believe 2 people I used to be friends with came out as bi. Having had people think you're gay when you had no suspicion you were ever gay. I was told this like 100 times. People used to always suspect that I was gay before I came out. So this category is called exploring your attraction to women. So feeling like you could live with a woman in a romantic way, even if you can't imagine doing anything sexual with a woman. Back then, I'm trying to picture myself back then, I don't know if I ever thought that was an option, even to live with another woman. So I can't say I thought about it like that. See it as an option for me, so I just never thought about it. Thinking you couldn't be a lesbian because you're not attractive enough, cool enough, or otherwise in the same league as most of the women that you know. I did think this for a while, until I pulled out the flannel shirts more. Until I became one of those cool lesbians that I looked at. Interacting with het romance in media by imagining yourself in the man position, or just never / rarely imagine yourself in a woman's position. I did this from an early age. I remember when we were playing house, I was the dad. When I would see a man and woman relationship, I would more align myself with the male side of that partnership. So yeah, I guess, yeah, that one definitely, that was another call out, that one applies. Seeing a relationship between two women elicits a much stronger and more real emotional reaction than het relationships ever do. Yes, I mentioned that earlier in the video. When I see male-female relationship, I'm kind of like, eh. But then when I see like two girls, immediately I'm just like, yes. You get anxiety around men and feel more comfortable in settings with women. Yes, say it louder for the people in the back. Yes, I do. Nothing else on this one actually applies to me, so we're just going to go on to the next one. So this one is gender feelings. Now this one I'm really interested to read because I actually came out as non-binary during the course of this channel before I realized that I wasn't. And that was again compulsory heterosexuality that made me kind of make that choice, because I felt like I couldn't like women and also be a woman. So I'm kind of interested to read this and see how that really did affect me. Having a lot of conflicting gender feelings that are only possible to resolve once you understand that you are / can be a lesbian. That's literally just what I just said. I just couldn't see myself being a woman with other women. So I came out as non-binary so I wouldn't have to have that. It wasn't actually how I actually felt. It was to mask feelings that I was struggling with at the time. Knowing you're attracted to women and not being able to face that as gay, taking a long time to figure out if you're a straight man or a lesbian. I did at the start think that maybe I was trans, but when I really thought about it, I realized that I wasn't. And that's when the non-binary kind of thing happened. And then I just realized that I was actually just a cis lesbian, and that's what I was comfortable being. But that's everything that we're actually going to read on this math doc. There is also more categories on this. There's literally, I'm only like halfway through the document. There's still so much more in this document, but we're not going to go through it all here. I do encourage you to do some of your own reading and research, and I will have this link down in the description, as well as some videos about Comp Het that I also feel that are good resources for people who are struggling with this. Honestly, going through this and talking about my experiences, I really hope that did help some of you guys understand what it is, how it affects people. But I think that is everything that I want to talk about in this video. I really enjoyed going through that and talking about my experiences, and I really hope it did help you out. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, please give a big thumbs up, and also subscribe if it's love, and hopefully I will see you guys in the next video.